and the owner of the company Dangerous Things, and they make RFID chip implants for humans. I have also one myself. So if you're curious about implantables in the human body, watch this interview. So today I'm interviewing Amal Graafstra from Dangerous Things and VivoKey. Amal, can you explain what Dangerous Things is doing?
So Dangerous Things is a kind of cutting edge or bleeding edge, if you want to call it that, technology company. We're focused on human augmentation through device implantation. So that means basically enhancing your capabilities by installing, at this point in time, radio transponders. They're just passive devices that go under your skin, and because they're kind of part of you when you install them, you don't think about them. There's a sense of permanence. They literally become part of who you are. So, we want to enable people to be able to get that augmentation done safely, both through the safe materials and safe design, device design, but also through safe installation procedure.
And me, myself, like I said in the introduction before we hit record, I have a XBTI. I have to sneak it up. In my hand, you can see it. And how does that fit into your whole range of products? My version.
So the XBTI, that is a special chip from Destron Fearing that has a thermal sensor in it as well as an identity. So normally these chips just have a serial number, particularly the kind of the low frequency chips, the ones that are common for pets, animals, livestock, that kind of stuff. But this particular XBT has also a thermal sensor, so you can be able to get a reading of what the temperature is inside that body. So being in the hand, there's a little bit of a delta between core temperature and what you're going to sense, but it's a fairly reliable linear relationship. So it's kind of interesting to be able to just scan really quickly and get your temperature rating from that device there. It's just an interesting biosensor application, very simple, but kind of the beginning of what might be a very interesting biosensor field of these types of technologies.
Yeah, so most of the products you sell are being used for identification and as a sort of a key. And the next step will be where you also put extra sensors into the body.
Yes, so not only just acting as an identity token, but we're exploring an array of cryptographic features. So not just a regular serial number or anything, but actually being able to use public key encryption, for example. So you're able to participate with things like blockchain, for example, that uses public key encryption. You can do things like just regular old encrypt and decrypt your email, being able to access online services with an actual cryptographic token rather than a password or something like that. So we're kind of expanding in all directions. We want the security aspects to be greatly improved, and that's what VivoKey is focused on. But we also want to explore biosensor applications just to see if we can start pulling in data from the body and reporting that, but doing so in a secure way. So we're going to merge the cryptographic features and the sensing features together, and eventually we'll see where we can go with this.
And what sets your products apart from, let's call it competitors, like Cyborg Nest or Bright House Wetware? I don't know if you call them competitors in your space, but
I wouldn't call them competitors. I think some of our goals overlap, and our the things we want to push for, those things tend to align. But Cyborg Nest is working on sensory enhancement, so being able to get information into the body. We have a magnet that's implantable that kind of has the same goal. So the XG3 is an implantable magnet that's coated in the same materials that our chips are. And the idea with that is that you can not only like lift stuff and kind of do party tricks, so you can show paper clip or bottle caps or whatever, but in reality, when you have a magnet inside your body, particularly in an area with a high concentration of tactile nerve corpuscles, then what you get is essentially when that magnet encounters a magnetic field, it vibrates. And those tiny, tiny vibrations are then communicated to your brain through, a tactile nervous system. So I didn't really think too much of this when I first started getting into magnet implants, but I was shocked that your brain is able to learn, and the plasticity kicks in, and able to learn that input, that little sensory input, means something new. And that happens very, very fast. I'll give you a quick story. I put in one of our first it was the M31 magnet. I put one of the first ones into my pinky finger right here, and I always try the first things first, just so I can get a sense for how they work, and kind of I'm the first guinea pig if things start to go wrong, right? So. But I had it in there for about a week, maybe a week and a half, and I was playing around with it, touching things, and interacting with actually my MacBook as well. I discovered that I could, kind of type on the keyboard and then move my pinky over to the left of the tab key, and there's a sensor there for the lid close. And the lid has magnets in it. And so when I did that, the screen would black out immediately, which is kind of cool. It's like a privacy feature. I could be typing away, and then somebody